Shane Van Gisbergen just finished 5th at North Wilkesboro, while his own teammates finished 27th and 32nd. And that's not even the craziest part of what's going on with this guy right now. Let's get into why Van Gisbergen's oval racing has been more impressive than most fans realize. And hey, real quick, if you are a true NASCAR fan like me, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe to the channel. NASCAR Nation news is just getting started. We are pushing for our next subscriber milestone, and it's all about real talk from fans who live this sport every week. All right, let's get into it. So let's start with Sunday night. The Window World 450 at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Shane Van Gisbergen started 8th and brought it home 5th. But here's the thing, the finishing position almost undersells it. He led 49 laps in that race, and his average running position for the entire night was 4th. That means for most of the race, he wasn't just hanging on, he was legitimately up front. Now, this wasn't some one-off fluke. The week before at Echo Park Speedway, Van Gisbergen finished 6th. And get this, that's the exact same result he posted at that same track back in February. So we're talking about consistency at a place that isn't exactly known as his strong suit. You know, it doesn't stop there either. He also finished 5th at Nashville Superspeedway. And on top of that, he came within a single spot of top 10s at 3 more ovals. Phoenix Raceway, Martinsville Speedway, and Charlotte Motor Speedway adds a lot of near misses stacking up in his favor. So where does all this put him in the standings? Right now, Van Gisbergen sits 14th in Cup Series points. He's got a 54-point cushion to make the chase, with only 5 races left on the regular season schedule. For a guy who wasn't exactly expected to be in this conversation, that's a big deal. At first, almost nobody predicted Van Gisbergen would be part of the 16-man playoff field this year, and if he was going to get there, the thinking was it would happen one of 2 ways. Either Trackhouse Racing found a major speed improvement, or he swept the road courses and stacked up bonus points that way. But here's the thing, neither of those things happened, and he's still right there kicking butt. Now let's talk about what happened at North Wilkesboro a little more closely, because this is where it gets wild. Van Gisbergen finished 5th. Meanwhile, his teammates Ross Chastain and Connor Zilisch finished 27th and 32nd. And just to be clear who we're talking about here, that's Ross Chastain, the 2022 Cup Series Championship runner-up, and Connor Zilisch, a guy who's been talked about as a generational NASCAR prodigy. These aren't scrubs. These are proven talented drivers. Both of them are having what the article describes as vastly disappointing seasons. Chastain sits 21st in points. Zilisch is down at 34th, and according to the article, it's not because they suddenly forgot how to drive. Zilisch in particular has dealt with what's described as an avalanche of bad luck. And on top of that, both of them are racing what might legitimately be some of the slowest cars in the field out of any multi-car organization in the sport. So think about that for a second. The only guy in the Trackhouse stable who isn't struggling is the one who was brought over from the halfway around the world specifically because the NASCAR playoff format only requires 1 win to make it in. A format built around the idea that he could just handle the road courses and be fine. When Van Gisbergen first came over to the United States, the expectation was that he'd be something like Marcos Ambrose, an elite road racer, and a middle-of-the-pack guy everywhere else. Instead, according to the article, he's turned into the greatest road racer of all time, while also routinely punching above his weight on the ovals, tracks with nothing but left-hand turns. And the article points out that if Trackhouse was still the Trackhouse of 2022, there's a decent chance he already would have won on one of them by now. Now, it's not all perfect. There is one mark against him here. Most of his best oval runs have come in races where he inherited a strong starting spot because qualifying got rained out. In other words, he hasn't yet shown that he can surge through the field after losing track position. And that, according to the article, is considered the most telling skill of a truly elite driver. But here's the thing to keep in mind. You need a fast car to be able to do that kind of surging, and right now, he doesn't have one. So defending what he's given at the start of the race is really all he can do, and by all accounts, he's squeezing every last drop out of that number 97 Chevrolet. So let's put this in perspective one more time before we wrap up. 5th at North Wilkesboro, leading 49 laps. 6th at Echo Park, matching his February result at that same track. 5th at Nashville. 3 near top 10s at Phoenix, Martinsville, and Charlotte. 14th in points with a 54-point cushion, 5 races left in the regular season. And he's doing all of it in equipment that's dragging his own talented teammates toward the back of the field. Aside from the obvious top tier of the sport right now, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, Tyler Reddick, and Kyle Larson. The article makes the case that there might not be anybody else in NASCAR having a more impressive season than Von Gisbergen once you account for just how strong or not strong his equipment actually is. So here's my question for you guys. Based on everything we just went through, do you think it's time to start talking about Shane Van Gisbergen as one of the best drivers in NASCAR, full stop, without that on-road courses label attached to it? Drop your answer in the comments. And if you enjoyed this one, make sure you like this video and subscribe to NASCAR Nation News. We'll see you in the next one.